Unprecedented drought that is still ongoing is causing crop failures. The war in Ukraine has exacerbated this further, disrupting global food and energy supplies. Food prices globally have increased by an average of 85%, whilst wages are stagnating. As the global population is projected to reach 8 billion next month, alarmists are worried the planet will not be able to cope. About 1.3 billion tons of food actually goes to waste each year. Agriculture accounts for 80% of all deforestation and 70% of all water extraction worldwide. So as the world's population continues to rise and our demand for arable land increases, it makes sense to look for alternatives, such as regenerating degraded land and deserts for the world's agricultural needs. But turning the world's deserts into fertile farmlands in a sustainable way is no easy feat, especially when rainfall in drylands averages around 3 to 10 inches a year. In this video, we will uncover how our global agricultural system has been causing a climate disaster and what is being done to solve it, exploring different farming practices across the world and how they have shaped our landscape today. We'll also take a look at a crucial breadbasket on one of the driest continents on Earth, highlighting some remarkable restoration developments to increase food security by turning deserts back into a farmland oasis. So stick with us as we dive into today's video. Farming has been reshaping our planet for thousands of years through deforestation, which has already caused an ecological collapse in many countries across the world. To investigate this further, we will look at clues hidden in plain sight. In the rugged Scottish terrain, where peat bogs and heather dominate the environment today, approximately 6,000 years ago, Scotland was covered in woodland and wildlife flourished in a mosaic of trees. However, when early farmers started to take control of the land, they burned the ancient woodland to encourage more growth of heather to feed domestic animals. Burning plus grazing was bad news for the trees. Woodland couldn't replenish itself. Shockingly, now only 4% of the total land area is native woodland. Since Scotland generally has cool summers and mild winters, and rainfall throughout the year, they have been able to survive overgrazing and deforestation for centuries without the threats that hotter countries face. But as global climate patterns are changing, Scotland has been seeing a warming trend with drier summers that could inevitably lead to droughts and desertification. Science has proven more trees equals more rain and the cooling of ambient temperatures. On average, 40% or more of precipitation over land originates from evaporation and the transpiration of water from vegetation. So as we deforest the earth to make way for farmland, we are altering local rain patterns massively. Therefore, planting and protecting native forests across the world is a priority. Let's explore how increasing tree cover has helped rural farmers to increase their productivity and food security for the planet. We will start by looking at southwestern Australia, where sheep grazing and monoculture wheat farms have deteriorated the landscape. The Australian wheat belt is the 12th largest producer of wheat for the entire planet, and since the Russia and Ukraine war, global wheat prices have been soaring. This makes Australia's wheat production more important than ever. Wheat is considered a vital source of energy, high in carbohydrates and vegetable protein. It's a staple across the world and is used to make many products. Ukraine and Russia accounts for nearly 30% of the global wheat trade. But Ukraine's production ability has been compromised. The world has started to turn to Australia for its wheat production. But unfortunately, this year wheat yields are forecast to plummet. According to this study, this is because of decades of global heating. But these headlines only tell one part of the story, about the large monoculture farms that have not yet made the switch to become more climate resilient. Monoculture farms may be exacerbating climate issues, since they take up huge areas, directly having an impact on the local environment, including temperatures. The consensus for many is that monocultures feed large numbers of people. It certainly makes it easier to sow, harvest and ship large amounts of product this way. But over time, it's a ticking time bomb. By removing almost all the trees in an agricultural region, the negative effect is scaled up and multiplied exponentially. For the wheat belt, high salinity has been a major issue in the region since extensive clearing of deep-rooted vegetation and the replacement with shallow-rooted annual crops has caused a massive hydrological imbalance. Soil salination has been swallowing up huge areas of once arable land, making it unusable. These salty patches are like desert dunes, which move and spread, reducing the amount of farmland available. Crop failures caused by droughts and unstable income have already forced many farmers to search for alternatives. The most effective is natural resource management. Natural resource management, or NRM, refers to the sustainable utilization of major natural resources, such as land, water, air, minerals, forests, fishery, and wild flora and fauna. Together, these resources provide the ecosystem services that provide better quality of human life and agricultural production. Regional NRM groups in Western Australia have leveraged Commonwealth funding from the National Landcare Programme. This has helped many farmers in the Australian wheat belt to plant millions of trees, with demand for native seedlings increasing so much that there is not enough supply. As a result, Aboriginal landowners are being employed to produce these seedlings. Farmers are also planting trees that can bring them an income, helping them to be more financially secure. They are planting trees in areas that are no longer productive. With drought-hardy varieties such as sandalwood, farmers have been able to come together to create a sandalwood cooperative, since sandalwood has been growing in popularity for the health and beauty industry, and in the long term it gives farmers a better return. Sandalwood is also able to grow even within 8 inches of rainfall a year, and it's been studied that the trees are able to support a number of bird and insect species, actually proving to be one of the best tree crops for biodiversity. Brushwood is another alternative bush crop that can be used to make fencing and has been a popular choice for wheat belt farmers. Both brushwood and sandalwood are continuing to be researched and tested by the organisations. In all cases, farmers have said that they have seen a considerable improvement in the reduction of soil salinity, since the trees soak up the salt water in the ground and stop it from spreading. The spread of sandy patches has also been reduced, and the trees have created sufficient windbreaks to stop the dust bowl effect. Grazing animals also prefer the shelter that the trees provide. Water erosion is controlled by installing surface water harvesting systems, which are combined with trees. All farmers expressed that wheat production alone was not profitable. In fact, in many cases they were losing out. Now many farmers have devoted anywhere between 25 to 75% of their land to alternative cropping, dry land timber, and forestry. Eventually these trees will be harvested, but will be coppiced and pruned so they can grow back even stronger.